Say action! It's not a very good film crew. And welcome to another episode of A Big Les Barbecue, and today it's a Sunday roast day and we're having a lovely leg of lamb. Check out that beauty. Ooh, get it on the camera. Decided to smoke it up. What's up with you? They're laughing at me already. We decided to smoke it up on our Weber kettle to get that smoking. This fat and sort of silver skin that's on the outside, we're going to get to trimming that up and taking that off. So cue the time lapse. So we've now removed that fat off the top. I'll just whip over to the camera so you can have a quick look. There's still plenty of intramuscular fat, so you don't need to keep that fat cap on the top. It's just going to block any of that flavour getting into the meat. So what we're going to do now is I need my trusty tea towel across the screen. Left it over there. I go through no end of tea towels when I'm doing these cooks. We're going to make a quick rub, and always start my rubs with a bit of salt. This must be childproof, I can't get into it. There we go. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of coarse sea salt. We're going to take some thyme, obviously rosemary and thyme, a lamb's best friends. You'll see I ain't got garlic down here, but the garlic's going to get added later in some butter. You'll see. I'm going to take some cumin, 1 tablespoon or thereabouts. I love the smell of cumin. Again, lamb's best friend, some dried rosemary. Them classic barbecue flavours and colours, some smoked paprika. Can't barbecue without some coarse ground black pepper, so 1 tablespoon of that, and just because I like the savoury note, and again some childproof lids, and it really helps with that smoke ring development, 1 tablespoon of celery seed. Yes, it does help with the smoke ring, but it also adds a real nice savoury note to the rub. Do you know what I have forgotten I want to get? Some brown sugar. Pause the video, I'll go and get my sugar. And luckily I remembered, for that extra sweet note, 2 tablespoons ish of brown sugar. Or maybe a little extra that just fell in. Right, we'll give that a nice stir. Just break any lumps up in the meat, and that's 1 rub ready for the lamb. Just to act as a binder, we're going to use some French yellow mustard, and we're going to get that all over the lamb. Oop, flip. And then taking our rub, nicely coat the lamb. That's the lamb coated up. We're going to give it an hour for all them flavours to marry with the lamb. Just give it that kiss. We'll come back in an hour and we'll get to setting up the barbecue. See you guys soon. We're up for indirect cooking again and smoking. So we've got all the lump wood down on this side. I've cut a couple of pieces of my beech smoking wood and placed them on top of the coals. And we took a couple of the tumbleweed natural firelighters. I'm going to pop them in there. Got a drip pan on the side where the lamb's going to be. Before we put the lamb on, we'll put some boiling water in there. The reason we put the boiling water in is it just gets up to temp a lot quicker. So let's get it fired up. I had to use a blowtorch this time. Oh yes, that's far better than that little piddly lighter I used last night. Yes, I enjoyed that far more. So we'll let them coals warm up now. Got the vents wide open at the bottom. We'll leave the lid off. We'll wait till they get to ash on that side. And throughout the cook it should burn all the way down the lump wood. Because the lump wood that I buy is 100% natural, there's no worries about adding that in halfway through the cook, which you may have to do on some long cooks on a Weber kettle. But we'll see how much this how long this charcoal lasts on this cook. I have to say I'm really impressed with this charcoal. It's been a good find on the internet, so give them a check out. It's I always get it wrong and somebody's going to have to correct me. Comment down below if I'm saying it wrong. Globetech charcoal. We'll get to warming these up. See you when we bring the lamb out. See you when we bring the lamb out. Right, the fires have come to a nice white embers, as you can see on this corner. I'm going to take the kettle of water and we're going to fill the drip pan. This adds moisture to the cooking chamber, but also acts as a heat sink to stop any overheating of the barbecue. So I'll just try to keep them temperatures modulated. If you put cold water in, it's just going to take a lot longer to warm up. So always better to stick in some boiling kettle. We'll pop on the grill. Our lamb's been sitting now. The flavours are starting soaking, it's glossing up. You can see all the herbs and spices on the top. That's ready to get into the cooker. We're going to take the lamb and we're going to place it directly over the drip pan. We've got the bottom vents wide open, as I said earlier. We're going to pop the lid on with the top vent opposite the coals. I'm going to leave the top vents wide open just to get the grill up to temperature inside, and then we'll use that top vent to dial it down. Try and aim for sort of that 110 degrees Celsius, 225 degrees Fahrenheit. I will drop a temperature probe in there just to see what the temp's like and get them vents right. We'll leave it for 2 hours to get that smoke on it, and then we'll get to adding that butter and garlic glaze or mopping sauce and we'll do that on the hour for the rest of the cook. See you soon. We've popped a thermometer through the top grate, and as you can see, I've got it just under half closed. Nice thin blue smoke coming out, and we're rocking around that 110 degrees Celsius, 225 degrees Fahrenheit, so plus or minus a few degrees, but we're an hour in and it's rocking really well. I'm really pleased with this Weber kettle. Right, she's been in for 2 hours, just over. The Weber sat nice and steady at around 110 degrees. She's looking really nice. I've warmed some butter up in the barbecue, just over charcoals, give it a little bit of smoke. It was half a stick of butter. This is going to be our basting liquid. We're going to put about a tablespoon of paprika, again smoked paprika, into that. Give it a little stir. Little bit of Worcestershire sauce, about a tablespoon. About a tablespoon of yellow mustard. This is just French yellow mustard. Just going to make it nice and sticky. And then of course, lamb's best friend, garlic. I'm going to give it, make a nice mess. I'll have 2 cloves of garlic. That's 1. 2. Give it a good stir. And then we'll get to basting the lamb. Right. That's looking rather tasty. Smelling absolutely amazing. We'll take our probe and just check for temp while we're here. The garlic and the butter, you can't beat that smell. I need to get a faster reading thermometer. We're about 150 degrees Celsius internal temp, Fahrenheit internal temp. She's about 65 degrees C. We'll cover that up. When we get to 160, we'll give her a wrap and take her all the way up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 98 degrees Celsius. See you soon. Right, we're coming in for that second baste of that beautiful butter, mustard, paprika, garlic, and as you can see, it's putting a nice coat on the lamb. Really nice and shiny. That'll be the last basting now before wrapping, and that last bit of braising liquid I shall use for wrapping, basting when I wrap it. Right, that's the second basting done on the lamb. She's up to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit internal temp, and I've already forgot the Celsius again. I will stick it in the video somewhere here. We're gonna take her off, a trusty tea towel, pop her on the grill on the tin foil. We've got the tin foil shiny side in. We're going to add some of the butter and paprika, mustard and garlic to the top. This is the last basting it's going to get. The smells are absolutely phenomenal. We'll wrap this up. I have a little piece of tin foil just for the end to stop that bone poking through. I'll pull that into there. I'm going to wrap it nice and tight. It's like Christmas, isn't it? I suppose it's getting that time of year where we're getting close to Christmas, so I better get some practice in. Right, we've got the lamb wrapped up nice and tight. While we've got the grill open, let's take that opportunity to have a bit of charcoal maintenance. I always have so much handy to have a little proddle. I haven't actually filled any charcoal up as of yet. This is still the original lot that went in this morning. I might as well bank them charcoals up, ready for the next part of the cook. I'll just disappear underneath my secret table, and a couple of pieces of extra charcoal are getting launched into the grill. Oops. One of the things with these large pieces of charcoal, you must make sure that they're all touching, so that they make sure they ignite the next piece of charcoal to the side of them. We'll get the grill back on. We'll take the lamb that's been wrapped up in a little parcel. We'll put that back on the indirect side again. We're going to get the lid on. I'll open them vents up slightly because now that it's wrapped up we can take that temp up a little bit more in the Weber kettle. We're going to take the lamb now to an internal temperature of 98 degrees Celsius, around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which should hopefully put my teeth back in today, hopefully be pull apart tender. I'll probably stick a probe in there in an hour just to see how she's going. See when it's time to pull it. Right, the lamb's reached an internal temp of 98 degrees Celsius, which is 208 degrees Fahrenheit. I did insert a temperature probe into the lamb just to see it cook, and I just pop that through the lid. I'm going to take her off the grill. We are going to check for tenderness before popping into the cooler. I always have that trusty tea towel to hand. Hot. Let's have a quick probe in. That feels nice, and yeah, it's going in like butter. I don't want to make too many holes because I want to keep all that moisture locked in the lamb. What I'm going to do is just take my wrapping tea towel. I'm going to wrap that lamb up, and we're going to pop it into our cooler, because like with any large cut of meat, when you've taken it up to these high temperatures, it needs to rest. We're going to give it at least an hour in the cooler, and it will take. What's up, Buster? We'll take it out of the cooler in an hour, and we'll get to pulling that lamb. See how tasty she actually is. The lamb's been resting for an hour, so let's get her out of the cooler. Still feeling really warm. I am going to open it up in a foil tray just in case any juices come out. I want to capture them juices. Once we get it out though, we'll get it placed onto the board. Looking pretty. It is. Ow! Like unwrapping the best Christmas present. Ah, that's so hot. Ever. I really need to get some thicker hands. My hands used to be like leather before when I did strongman, and now they're a bit soft because Grace makes me do all the dishes with fairy liquid. She's giving me the evils now. Right. Oh. I am going to have to use a tea towel. It's that fall apart tender. It's coming off the bone already. Spin that round. I'm coming for a close-up. Right, I'm going to take a couple of pitters and we're going to pop them in the grill just to give them a warm-up while we take this lamb, and let's see how pull apart hard tender that is. That's still really hot. I'm going to have to take my knife and take some slices. Can you see how juicy that is? Can you see the smoke ring? I'll just super hot. Give Grace, she dare have a piece. I'll have a piece. That's really, that's safe. Right. Let's just take these pitters over the coals, just let them warm up another couple of seconds. Buster. We almost forgot the Buster taste test. Oh, oh, nom, nom. Oh, you got it. Right. Take one of that pitters. Gonna cut it open. Make sure we give it a clear. Oh, that one's split. I'm falling out with that one. That's it. This is going to be the best kebab you've ever tasted. Take a couple of these green things. Grace calls them salad. I just call them garnish for the board. I'm going to take some of that beautiful lamb. It's super moist, pull apart tender, and just because I do like a bit of barbecue sauce. Oh, making a mess of the board. That. It's one fantastic kebab. You'd never go for doner meat again. Again, I hope you've enjoyed the cook. If you have, give it a like, hit that subscribe button. Look out for future videos coming over here, and any comments, please leave them down below. I enjoy catching up with you guys. See you soon.